Broadcasting live from an Airstream somewhere in Tornado Alley, bringing you the people, places, and stories from the Panhandle to the Red River. This is your Only in Oklahoma show.
And welcome to the show. Today we're talking about a Bigfoot-themed restaurant in Idabel, and later on, a multi-million-dollar expansion in OKC. I'm Brett.
And I am Hercules.
You know, we almost shared a meal today. You called? No? Yeah. Did you call me? I don't remember how the conversation went, but you said, hey, will you run through and grab such and such and so-and-so? And I said, well, I've got a date with Redbone in Chickasha.
Yes.
You did. And I said, I've got a date with Redbone. You go, they're in town? Like, you don't know. You're not on the...
I'm not on the mailer. You know, the funny thing is, they were at Amber's branch.
Right.
At Amber's request. And Amber told me all of those things happened within the last 36 hours. But when you said, I'm going to eat at Redbone, was like my brain, it took me a second to click.
Redbone was there at the behest of Amber. You live with her. You're common law married to this woman. But anyway, then I called back and said, hey, am I coming to get you, and then we'll go back and get food? You're like, nope, I'm in the parking lot right now getting my food. I'm like, you son of a... I mean, we could have did a thing together. We could have had an actual picnic. A Redbone picnic.
Dude, I'm telling you, she knocks it out of the park. I had wings. They're fried green beans. I don't know why fried green beans are not a thing at regular, like, fast food restaurants. Like, you guys...
You're missing the boat.
Yeah.
I said that enthusiastically. I'm not a huge fan of fried green beans. It's maybe a texture thing, or maybe I'm just not a huge fan of green beans.
Maybe you have a green bean allergy.
You know what? I'm like a lot of people right now. I'm allergic to a lot of different things. And I may need an EpiPen if I had a fried green bean. So I went ahead and went with the healthy. I went with the healthier option.
Was that a microaggression?
No, not a micro. It was a microtransaction. I went with the Indian taco with the fry bread. You know what? Every now and again, you got to step out of the box and get a piece of fry bread covered in goodies in a box, and that's what I did.
Well, I was going to get the Squatch burger, but they were sold out.
Sold out.
So I had to settle for the wings, but they were good. But speaking of Squatch,
I knew it. I knew
Squatch burgers.
Yeah,
there is
a place.
There is a place, and it doesn't matter if you're a skeptic or you're a full-blown believer in Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm.
There's an awesome place in Idabel called Gasquatch. It is a Bigfoot-themed travel station with a restaurant, a car museum, a mini-mart, a gift shop, and about 150 miles of gas pumps.
Listen. You only have to believe in one thing: gas, to go to this place. You know what I mean? The fuel is the gateway to the other worldly dimension of the Gasquatch.
Dude, I'm a fan of
kitschy.
Not kitschy, but when I don't even know how to explain it. I'm a fan of when people, communities, take something that's a little bit off and make it their own thing and put a spin on it, like Medicine Park.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But here's the thing about Gasquatch. I think Gasquatch plays just about anywhere, but it really plays in freaking Sasquatch country. You know what I mean? I think that really, for me, you crank it up to an 11 when you have a Sasquatch, Gasquatch themed gas station.
I think it's a great idea. The guy that started it, Phil Silva, he ran a country and western bar in this spot for like 30 years. He closed it and decided to build a gas station. I don't know where that light bulb popped on for him, but he wanted to set it apart from any other place, so he named it Gasquatch, and he filled it with, like, dude, any Sasquatch themed item that you want to buy, they have.
It's literally Sasquatch Emporium.
T-shirts, mugs, caps, stickers, frisbees, furry slippers.
Blurry. I bet they've got a blurry photo or two in there that you can buy. I'd be willing to do it. So to bet.
I have a great idea. Here's our backup plan for the OnlyinOKShow. If this doesn't work out, we sell a Polaroid that only takes blurry photos.
Ooh.
Like it's got some smudge on the inside of the lens.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what you photograph, it looks like a blurry photo. What do you think?
No, I think it's a fantastic idea.
As much traveling as we do and as we have done, a big selling point for you and I, clean bathrooms.
Yeah, this is the one thing that you and I do agree on. Now, if we're talking clean hotel rooms, you're probably more apt to sleep on the top of the sheets.
Dude, I would rather sleep outside than the horrible experience that we had at the OK motel.
The Quad A motel, which was also in Bigfoot country.
It was.
But yes, clean bathrooms are a must.
This place, everything that you can find on Gasquatch is that they are super clean.
Yeah.
Bathrooms are super clean. I love it. I'm all in. They're not as big as a Buc-ee's. They're not, like obviously it's one location. They're definitely not as big as Buc-ee's.
Well, nobody. I mean, I'm sorry. I hate to give it up to Buc-ee, but those are some big old bathrooms.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't understand how you install the plumbing. Like, you have to put out a Home Depot out of business.
Oh, yeah.
To just do the plumbing for a Buc-ee's.
So we don't need a Buc-ee's. We need a Gasquatch bathroom.
I'm a big fan. Again, I think they've set themselves apart from every other gas station along the highway there.
Yeah.
Because it is sparkling clean. One of the cool things about this place, though, Gasquatch, at night, his eyes glow.
Ooh, that's cool, man.
You could see it from about a mile away. This
is a place that I think I think Patterson or Gimlin would be proud to go number one, or just order a number one.
I don't think that we should cross the streams here on the cafe and the bathrooms. Like, I think there's a reason that the Ghostbusters said that you never cross
you
the
never
streams.
Cross streams.
You mentioned it, that we have a lot of urban legends about Bigfoot in and around Oklahoma. And so I think it's a good fit, and it's fun. I don't think that...
You know what? I don't mean to cut you off.
Okay.
I've been enthusiastic. It's almost like... Are you the internet, by the way? Because I was literally just talking about going to... I talked to the supervisor about going to Gasquatch, and then boom, here's a show. Like... Are you listening to
I am listening to everything that you do all the time.
Great. So you know exactly what I want.
Me and Chat GPT.
Then you know what I want for my birthday. Great. So, yes, what I like, I'm willing to drive 2 hours to this place just to take a picture.
Just to take a piss. I thought you were going to say take a piss.
Well, I would probably, after a 2-hour drive, would probably need to.
You're probably going to need to. But I thought you were going to say it.
No, well, nice setup. But I would do that as well. As clean as their bathrooms are, I would do that. Yeah.
So he opened up in 2020.
Yeah.
Just in the town of Idabel, just off of US 259. 30-foot tall Bigfoot sign outside, which apparently is the biggest of its kind.
I cannot wait to go see this thing.
Moving on separately from the bathrooms, the Cave Cafe.
Of course it is.
Has a lot of Bigfoot-themed food. A common theme that you'll find about the Cave Cafe, the food is good, and it is lightning fast.
I thought you were going to say a common theme is the food is named after Bigfoot. Sasquatch, like you're just gonna. It was all. Yeah, I'm sorry. You can delete all that out. Go ahead.
You can find things like Squatch fingers or cave meals.
Okay.
They do breakfast, lunch, and dinner though, so you can go get biscuits and gravy.
Time it. I got to time my stay.
Bigfoot biscuits and gravy, or you can get some chicken fingers, a burger, hot dogs, all great food, raving reviews. You'll find nothing but raving reviews about it.
What did I think one of the reviews was from the Hendersons. I don't know.
Harry and the Hendersons?
Yeah, sorry. Stupid. Wah, 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 wah.
The Cave Cafe, though, is in the back. Nice. It's a nice sized area.
Yeah.
Plenty of seating. Like I said, lightning fast service. But kind of the icing on the cake, they have a car collection museum.
That's
in
crazy,
this gas station,
man.
Yes, Phil's Elite Car Collection Museum. Vintage vehicles. They're cool as shit.
Yeah, I was looking at pictures of it when I was planning my trip before you were listening in on me. If you're a car guy, if you're not a car guy, here's the thing about it. Can we circle back to the part where this place has a little bit of everything? It's got the quirkiness of the, you know what I mean? Even if you don't believe in the Sasquatch stuff, it's there's a charm about this place that really kind of draws you in, and it's a free show. It's a car show for free. Go look at the dang cars and have a cave burger. I don't know.
You don't have to believe in Sasquatch
to
stop at Gasquatch.
You do have to believe.
You have to be able to pronounce Gasquatch.
Listen, go ahead. Try it again.
You don't have to believe in Sasquatch to stop at Gasquatch.
Cha-ching. There's your promo, guys. But here's the thing. You do have to believe when your car says empty, you probably should stop and get. There's nothing mythological about
I will say
an empty tank.
There are some heavily wooded areas in the state of Oklahoma.
Forget it.
That you would much rather stop and see the 30-foot tall Gasquatch sign
that's well lit,
as opposed to breaking down in the middle of nowhere where you don't have cell signal and actually seeing a Sasquatch.
Listen, okay, I'm going to tell the story one more time. Remember the time we went to Honeybee, Oklahoma, which, funny story about that. But you remember we went to Honeybee, Oklahoma, and I don't know why, because this is what we do. We like to go, there's no lights let's see what's down this road where there's nothing. When I stopped and took a leak because I didn't have Gasquatch.
and you heard the cow wolf combo howling in the woods.
I don't know what I could have dementia and I will never forget that. But that trip to Honeybee, when we had spent 2 weeks calling it Hanobia,
yes,
that was a lot of fun.
It was. I'll put a link in the show notes for that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was you need to listen to that episode. It's a great episode.
Yeah, for sure. If you're anywhere near Idabel, I definitely think
just make a point to be near Idabel.
If you want more information on Gasquatch, check out their Facebook page, Gasquatch.
Well, coming up after the break, OKC is getting $255 million in Top Gun money. Stick around.
I'm Raven Rollins, and this is my Southern True Crime podcast where I discuss cases from my former hometown. Ada, Oklahoma paints itself as an average community, but its history of murder and corruption runs deeper than any story has ever told. You'll hear plenty of special guests, including authors and experts in their fields, who visit with me on each episode, as well as other cases in the southern states. With notorious and unknown cases alike, every victim sees the light on my show. This is Sirens, a true crime podcast.
So, news story out of the Daily Oklahoman. Pratt & Whitney announced major multi-million-dollar expansion in OKC. News story by Richard Mize. I have a question.
It better be one that I can answer.
Okay, you should be able to answer this one.
Cool.
Richard, how out of fashion is the nickname Dick? Nobody goes by that anymore. You can't tell me Richard Mize wouldn't sound cooler as Dick Mize.
Oh, he sounds like a lawyer. Dick Mize sounds like a lawyer.
I think it sounds more like something itchy.
Dick Mize? Like a condition?
Like maybe a condition, yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. So, aerospace manufacturer Pratt & Whitney said it plans a $255 million sustainment center in Oklahoma City.
Do you know what they're building?
A building?
Well, they're building a building, but they're supplying the engine for one of the baddest freaking fighter jets in the sky.
Is it the engine? I thought it was like the
afterburner. Well, it's the afterburner. Well, it's part of it. It's the part that goes. So, you know what I mean?
It's the light show.
Yeah, for the
jet engines.
Yes, for the F-35 Lightning. Hello. That's a big, but more importantly, that's a big deal. But if you think about it, it makes sense. I mean, it's going to be close to Tinker, right?
It is. And we kind of talk about this on a regular basis. When you're talking about industry, it's hard to beat the middle of the damn country.
It is, because you're within. I almost said you're within striking distance, which is probably a bad thing to say.
Probably not the thing we would talk about
with fighter jets. No, but yeah, you're right. I mean, but think about Oklahoma. We've become a hub of nearly every technology.
For sure, and we've talked about a lot of them on this show. This building, though, 845,000 square feet. That is just huge.
There's your 255 million. That's a big, I wonder, when I think about big warehouses that do a lot of stuff, I think about Hobby Lobby warehouses. How many square feet of those are there? I don't know that it's 845,000, but that's the only thing I have to compare it to. That's huge.
It is. So this center, though, is going to be a facility where they want to increase the site's maintenance capabilities, repair capabilities, and just the overall capabilities of the F-135 program. Some interesting financial information about this.
Yeah.
There are going to be a bunch of new positions opening up, and they're talking about salaries starting in like the $80,000 a year.
You know what's funny? I've never been qualified. I've never been qualified for I don't even know what I would do if I was qualified for a job that was $80,000.
$80,000 a year?
I'm like, how much is that an hour? You know, I think of everything in an hourly wage. $80,000 a year? You know, that used to be big money.
Yeah, I mean, inflation has kind of taken a little chunk out of that here of late. I think $80,000 is about what I spent the last time I went to Walmart.
Well, there's a kid at Panda Express making $65 for lukewarm orange chicken.
Orange chicken from Panda Express is probably a good way to get dysentery.
And a good way to make about $80,000 a year.
Yeah, I gotta think that the salary there should probably be some sort of deduction based on the number of people that get food poisoning if you're in the food industry.
If you're a guy, how ballsy would it be if you're a guy that went from Panda Garden to apply for an $80,000 job? These days, he might be qualified. I don't know what you're looking for, but the guy from Panda may be your best candidate.
I don't know that I want the guy who can't cook orange chicken without burning it or serving it raw in charge of any sort of maintenance on a jet engine.
They're like, so other than Panda, what are some of your qualifications? Ace Combat 7. I mean, okay.
Do they even are flight simulator games even a thing anymore?
You know, I think there's some on PC. There's always a few on the PC. As far as on your consoles, no. But dude, I was a freaking ace when I played Ace Combat. I can't imagine that those skills transfer. Well, it's okay. Well, remember was it Fly the Navigator? Which one was it? Where he had the video game, and then they came and got him to fly the.
Wasn't that the Last Starfighter?
That's it. Yeah, I don't foresee a real time scenario where my Ace Combat skills would warrant me any experience.
I
in the
feel
cockpit.
like if there are any video games involving airplanes now, it's probably like Grand Theft Auto G5 or something.
Or, I don't know, Animal Crossing. I don't know if they have planes in that or not.
Animal Crossing Aviation Edition. So there was a quote from Governor Kevin Stitt. He said, "This is an exciting announcement for Oklahoma and our growing international dominance in the aerospace and defense industry."
That's an aggressive, to me, that's an aggressive statement, isn't it? Our dominance.
Yeah, I agree that the United States has
An upper hand?
when it comes to military operations in general.
I don't like
But
the,
I don't
yeah.
know. I don't know that I want the governor of Oklahoma talking about exerting our dominance. I mean, just in general.
Well, it's the braggadocio machismo
It
stuff.
just doesn't feel like Oklahoma. Like,
Yeah.
I think when I think of Oklahoma, I think of like super friendly people.
Yeah,
You
nice
know, like
people.
People invite you in, have you over for supper when you're new to the neighborhood.
Right, or
And-
being in the top 5 fattest states. Not aggressive. We're not really we're aggressive when it comes to our ribs and barbecue. Not necessarily, we don't all walk tall with a big joystick ready to.
We're exerting our dominance in the giant Sasquatch themed signs on road signs. Like,
We're gonna put our foot up your aerospace. I don't know what that is. But
oh my God. So U.S. Representative Tom Cole said the expansion is a direct investment in improving our military's ability to meet national security objectives.
hang on a second.
Yes.
I thought Tom Cole stepped down.
I don't know.
No. It's fine. Leave it in. But I thought he, you know how the representatives are. They have unlimited. They've got the frickin' Konami cheat, 99 lives code. They don't go anywhere.
Oh, even if they're not in office anymore, they're still.
They're like, "What are you talking about?" He's like giving the interview in his frickin' pajamas. I believe that planes need to fly in Oklahoma still. Well, a lot of planes do, but anyway, I thought the guy was done, but I like what he's saying.
So apparently this place should be up and operational by the year 2028.
Let's see, what is it now?
2023?
Let's see, that's 5 years. Golly. I'll be 50 when they cut the ribbon on it. 50.
50 years old.
How old will you be, bud?
I can't do the math that high. Too many digits. Pratt & Whitney, they've been in Oklahoma since the 1940s in the establishment of the Midwest Air Depot, which eventually became the Tinker Air Force Base. Cool story. A lot of things happening in Oklahoma, and I think if you're looking for a job, it seems like we've got a few.
When you said how long they've been there, in my head I could hear like the 1940 newsreel. Pratt & Whitney announced major multi-million-dollar expansion in OKC. Yeah, that's why I was like, jeez, man.
If you want to read the full story, though, we'll put a link in the show notes for the Daily Oklahoman.
And thanks for listening. Hey, do us a favor. Leave us a review. I don't care where you do it. As a matter of fact, you can go to the on-cue bathroom at MacArthur, the last stall. There's a trash bag that's over the toilet. Every time I've been in there, it'll probably smell like poo-poo. But write it on the wall if you have to. This has been the OnlyinOK Show. I'm Brett.
And I'm Harley. We're out of here.
Peace. Try to be funny without talking about your pants. Ready?
That was funny.
Oh
my God.
Only Harley knows it's small. You don't have to tell everybody. It's okay. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1.
I'm just saying, if you're too big a company to make ranch dressing, then you're just too big of a company.
No, you're right. We wasted all of our warm up.
How do we do that?
I don't know. What are we going to open with?
We can talk about Redbone. Just both ate there.
Okay. We're going to tag her on the show.
Sure.
See, she had a wreck a few weeks ago. It's crazy.
Why is that crazy?
It could have been a lot worse.
She could have been hit by a meteor.
True. Instead, today she was hit by a couple of meat eaters. What'd you get?
Wangs.
You got wangs? What is the cone? What's that cone thing?
It's mac and cheese with chicken
There's
fingers.
a name.
Oh,
Look it up. Have you seen those ones that Joe Rogan's used before? It has. Sometimes he'll have a guest smell them, and they're pungent. You ever smelling salts? You've done a lot of things. I was kind of surprised that you say no, that you've never had any smelling salts. I try not to get to a point where I need them.
yeah.
But apparently they can keep you up too. They help you stay up. I need them right now. I need some smelling salts right now.
I need some sleepy time.
I really could use some smelling salts right now. It'll make me feel better.
I like a crack cocaine, please.
I'm
going to say,
what?
I don't like...
What? You
I don't
crack?
think that Steven Crowder is funny. I think he has some stuff that's funny, but it really bothers me that all of his employees laugh.
Well, that's what you do. You laugh at the boss's jokes.
Yeah, but there's got to be a certain point in time where you're like...
So I have
don't laugh like you just saw Joe Biden fall up the stairs every time I open my mouth.
So I have a crazy admission.
Okay.
I'm going to share a similar opinion.
Okay.
I think Joe Rogan is a better podcast host
Then he is a comedian?
than a comedian.
Oh, I agree with that 100%.
The comedians that he has on are funnier than he is.
For sure. I also don't think that his show is any good at all when he's baked.
Yeah.
When he's like, so the aliens are in the mushrooms? Like,
Yeah.
dude, stop.
Yeah.
Like, I support your right to get baked, but you only have to be, like, mostly not baked for 3 hours a day.
Right.
So when Snoop Dogg comes on your show, you don't have to outsmoke him.
Right. I'm also a firm believer that Joe Rogan's only funny because he's Joe Rogan.
Yes.
I feel bad. I've been carrying in this burden because I've been listening to Joe Rogan pretty regularly for the last year and a half, easy, because I have time now. And I just notice it's like when I hear him talk about, now he's done a lot for comedians and he's, brought a lot of people along.
Oh yeah, I agree 100%.
But again, I think in most cases, it's what's the word I'm looking for? Sometimes the master gets eclipsed by the student. And I just don't think he's that funny. But I do like his shows when he's not
baked.
When he's not baked.
I think he is, conversationally, he's funny.
Yeah.
When he tries to be funny, I don't think he's funny.
Yeah, it's not funny.
And his stand-up is really just do psilocybin and smoke lots of weed.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like Seinfeld and like, what about this airplane food? It's like, dude, you played that shit out. Just be funny and have a good podcast. Like, be a funny person without constantly trying to show that you're a good stand-up comedian, because I don't think you are.
Because go ahead.
I was going to say, Steven Crowder, he does stand-up. I don't think it's funny.
Yeah.
He's funny conversationally, and he has funny thoughts.
Yeah.
All good. He does some impressions that are funny.
Yeah. He
does a bang-up Donald Trump. Like,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, it's spot on.
Yeah, I'm going back to Rogan a little bit. In the way you describe Crowder and the way I'm describing Rogan, I think I'm trying to think of what I'm thinking equivalently would. It's like you built your audience. Just because your food truck is great doesn't mean you translate well into a restaurant.
Right.
You know what I mean? Great example.
Well, and I don't even know that that's the case. Like, just because you have a good food truck doesn't, like, you have a good burger food truck.
Yeah.
Okay, great. You trying to open up a restaurant that has 700 items on the menu, probably not going to be a
good deal. It's right there with it's the difference in, okay, I've worked the clubs, now I'm ready to do arenas. You lose something
right
when that happens. You lose contact with your audience, and I think that's kind of, I don't know how a food truck and that have anything to do with it, but I think there's something charming about a food truck that's good.
I think if you do a good job at something, just because you do a good job at something doesn't mean that you do a good job on everything that's associated with that something.
Right. Yeah. I think, with Crowder, he's another one that people, he's memeable. He's the meme guy. Isn't he the, yeah. So people would pay to see. Change my mind. He's the change my mind guy. So people would pay to see him, whether he's funny or not, because he's actually been here before.
Dude, I honestly think if he did a show where he just did like change my mind topics,
it would be a freaking smash hit.
I think it would. I think people would go. They would pay to watch it. He would probably get good laughs.
Mm-hmm.
But more importantly, he would be doing what he thinks he should be doing.
Yeah.
If you try to take your popularity for the change my mind thing and just do jokes about how Joe Biden's not good at his job,
it doesn't play.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm glad I could confess to you about Rogan again. He's a great interview.
I'll take it the other direction.
Okay.
Tom Segura is the funniest on the goddamn planet.
He's funny.
No, he is legitimately the funniest guy on the planet. His podcast is a snore fest.
Is a different guy, yeah. Do you ever listen to Two Bears, One Cave with him and
that's
Bert?
what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Like, that podcast sucks off. It's boring. You know what? I don't give a shit about what you did before you got on stage with your other comic buddies.
Yeah.
I don't need you to tell me, to take 2.5 hours to tell me how funny a comedian is that I don't think is funny.
Yeah.
Like, why? That's not a show. I don't get it. It's not funny. The behind the scenes of comedy is not funny.
It's not.
But every comedian has the same podcast. The behind the scenes of comedy podcast.
Yeah.
And none of them are funny. Because you know what? It's not a funny topic.
I just need you to make the cake. I don't care how you made it, as long as it tastes the same every time.
Hell, I don't even need it to taste the same every time. I just want it to be good every time.
Well, I know, but if I pay $10 a slice, I'm definitely, but at $10 a slice, I'm still not like cutting it and going, wait a second, the texture's wrong. I'm not gonna tear it apart for $10 a piece. 100 maybe. You ready?
No.
Okay. No?
I am, but I'm not, but I'm...
Well, we don't have to. You are.
Just tired.
Comedians that... Because here's the thing about comedians. I'm not saying... I'm going to say you realize, but I mean that this is in general, not you. You realize that most comedians are on stage, off stage.
Oh, yeah.
Robin Williams, introvert.
Yeah.
On stage. Extreme extrovert.
Yeah.
Who are your favorite comedians?
I mean, obviously all the classics: George Carlin, Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, but nowadays Tom Segura. Dude, Tom Segura had a bit about how he's, you start running out of time and you need to focus more time, blah blah blah, and he's like, you got to figure out shit to cut out of your life. And he said, I cut out arguing with people about shit. He's like, if I'm talking to you and you go, well, I disagree. He's like, at that point in time, I flip gears and I go, I agree with you 100%. I'm on your side now.
That's funny.
because he doesn't have time for it.
Yeah.
That's some funny shit. That is comedy gold.
I will say I love Carlin. He wasn't always funny. I think a little bit towards the end he became a little too
Preachy. He started off preachy, he ended preachy.
Yeah.
But the fucking 30 years between the start and the end was comedic gold. And the guy was a goddamn prophet.
Yeah, he was. Just keep talking.
Well, I've never been to heaven, but I've been to Okeechobee. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro. Let's go.
Fine. Ready? 1,
Yet.
2, 3, 2, 1.